You know, life isn't about chasing after people. It's about becoming someone so remarkable that they can't help but miss you when you're not around. Too many times we make ourselves so accessible we lose our value. It's easy to get lost in the crowd, easy to blend in, but the true magic happens when you stand apart. When you walk away, when you step back, that's when they start to see you for what you really are. It's in the absence that your presence is truly felt. You become the thing they didn't realize they needed until it's gone. And that's power. Not the power of demanding attention, but the power of commanding respect, of giving them something to miss. But here's the key. It's not about playing games. It's about knowing your worth. It's about recognizing that your time, your energy, your company is valuable. Don't be afraid to take a step back. Let them appreciate your absence. Let them miss you. And watch everything change. Remember this, my friends. People don't appreciate what they always have. They need to feel the void, the space where you once were. And when they realize what they've lost, they'll come running, but you can't wait around for them to come back. No, you keep growing, you keep moving forward. You keep being your best self. You stand tall with the confidence of someone who knows their value, who knows that they are a gift and not just something anyone can have for the taking. So don't be afraid to leave, to disappear for a while. Let them miss you. Let them chase after you. And when they do, you'll see the respect, the admiration, and the change in the air. There's a unique power in absence that often goes unnoticed. When you're always present, always available, it becomes easy for people to take you for granted. They may begin to expect your time, your energy, your presence, without truly appreciating it. The simple truth is, people often don't realize the value of something until it's no longer there. It's in that absence, in that moment when you're no longer around, that they begin to notice what they were missing. Absence doesn't mean disappearing for the sake of playing games or manipulating others. It's about knowing your worth and understanding that your time, energy, and effort are valuable resources that deserve to be respected. When you're constantly giving, constantly present, it becomes easy to lose the sense of your own significance. But when you step back, even for just a little while, it allows others to see the true weight of your presence. The key here is not to force distance, but to allow it naturally. By creating space, you give people the chance to reflect on what you bring to their lives. They realize the role you play, and more importantly, how much they rely on you, whether they acknowledge it or not. This is where your absence becomes a silent signal, a reminder of your importance. It's an opportunity for others to recognize the value you bring without you having to push or demand it. The power lies in the fact that they miss you, not because you forced it, but because you allowed them to. And that absence will shift the dynamics, change the perception, and bring about a newfound appreciation for who you are and what you contribute. Chasing after people, validation, or opportunities often comes from a place of desperation or insecurity. When you're constantly pursuing others, whether it's for their attention, approval, or affection, you're sending the message that you don't believe in your own worth. The truth is, you don't need to chase anyone or anything to prove that you're valuable. If you believe in your own value, the right people, the right opportunities, and the right experiences will naturally gravitate towards you. Attraction isn't about force or effort. It's about being authentic, being your best self, and allowing others to recognize your value for what it truly is. When you operate from a place of self-assurance, when you're living in alignment with your true purpose, you draw people to you without even trying. They will see the confidence in you, the way you carry yourself, and the energy you project. It's magnetic, because the key to attraction lies in knowing that you don't need to chase to be seen or heard. When you stop desperately seeking out approval or recognition, you create space for people to come to you on their own terms. They are drawn in by the strength of who you are, not because you've been constantly reminding them of your presence. The more you focus on your own growth, your own journey, and your own peace, the more others will naturally want to be part of your world. When you stop chasing, you begin to attract what you truly deserve. People who appreciate you for who you are, not because you forced your way into their lives. Attracting, not chasing, is a reflection of confidence, self-respect, and the understanding that your worth is inherent, not something that needs to be earned through relentless pursuit. Recognizing your worth is one of the most empowering things you can do for yourself. It's about understanding that you are enough just as you are without needing anyone else's validation to prove it. Many people go through life constantly seeking approval, trying to fit into the expectations of others, or bending to the will of what society defines as success. But true worth doesn't come from external sources. It comes from within. It's about acknowledging that your value isn't tied to your accomplishments, your appearance, or your ability to please others. It exists simply because you are. When you recognize your worth, you stop measuring yourself against others. You stop looking for constant reassurance or trying to meet standards that were never meant for you. You realize that you are unique, that your experiences, your perspective, and your contributions are valuable in their own right. It means not settling for less than you deserve, whether it's in relationships, work, or any aspect of life. You don't have to prove yourself to anyone. Your presence, your essence speaks for itself. It also means setting boundaries and knowing when to say no. When you recognize your worth, you stop allowing people to take advantage of you or diminish your value. You stop letting others define how much you're worth or dictate the terms of your relationships. You give yourself the respect you deserve, and in doing so, you teach others how to respect you too. Understanding your worth is not about arrogance or superiority. It's about self-respect and authenticity. It's about standing tall in your own truth and knowing that you don't need to seek external validation to feel whole. Your worth is not contingent on anyone else's opinion. It simply is. And once you truly recognize that, you walk through the world differently. Sometimes people don't fully appreciate what they have until it's gone. It's in the absence, in the space where you once were, that they begin to feel the weight of your presence. You don't always have to be there to make an impact. In fact, stepping back can often be the most powerful thing you can do. When you're constantly available, constantly showing up, people can take you for granted. They may get used to your presence without ever realizing how much you contribute to their lives. But when you create that void, whether it's a physical absence or an emotional one, that's when they begin to realize the value of what they've lost. Letting others feel the void doesn't mean disappearing to manipulate or play games. It's about understanding that your energy, your time, your attention is valuable. By stepping back, you give others the space to reflect on what they truly miss. They start to see how much you offered, how much you gave, and how much you were a part of their world. It's in that gap, in that missing piece, that they start to understand the depth of your presence. The void creates room for reflection. It gives them the opportunity to understand the impact you had and the role you played. It also creates the potential for change. Change in how they see you and how they value you. People don't often realize what they have until it's gone. But when they feel that absence, it can shift their perspective. They begin to recognize that they don't want to lose you, that they need you. And that's when things start to change. The void becomes a powerful tool, allowing them to see you with new eyes. Growth and movement are fundamental to becoming the person you're meant to be. Life doesn't wait for you to get comfortable or to settle into a routine. It moves, and you must move with it. If you're not actively growing, you're stagnating. Growth is a constant internal process that pushes you to evolve, learn, and challenge yourself to be better than you were yesterday. Movement is the external manifestation of that growth. It's taking the lessons you've learned, the strength you've built, and applying them to your everyday life. You can't afford to stand still, no matter how difficult or uncertain things might seem. Growth is often uncomfortable. It's about stepping outside of your comfort zone, pushing past limitations, and facing challenges head on. Every experience, good or bad, contributes to your growth. It's about learning to embrace the discomfort and seeing it as a sign that you're on the right track. Movement, on the other hand, requires action. It's not enough to just think about your growth. You have to take steps toward it, no matter how small those steps might seem. Whether it's pursuing new opportunities, learning new skills, or reevaluating your goals, movement is the engine that propels you forward. The process of growth and movement isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Every step you take, no matter how imperfect, moves you closer to becoming the person you were meant to be. Even when it feels like you're not making immediate progress, keep moving, keep growing. Eventually, the effort compounds and you'll look back and see how far you've come. The key is persistence. The belief that growth is always happening and movement is always necessary, even when you can't see the immediate results. Confidence and self-respect are not traits you can acquire overnight, but they are the foundation of a strong, fulfilled life. Confidence comes from knowing who you are, understanding your strengths, and accepting your weaknesses without letting them define you. It's about trusting yourself and your abilities even when the world around you doesn't seem to. Confidence is the quiet assurance that you don't need anyone's validation to feel whole or valuable. It's the ability to stand tall in your own skin, unapologetically being who you are without fear of judgment or rejection. Self-respect is the internal compass that guides how you treat yourself and how you allow others to treat you. When you respect yourself, you set boundaries that protect your peace and well-being. You don't settle for less than you deserve, and you don't allow toxic people or situations to dictate your worth. Self-respect means acknowledging that you are worthy of love, kindness, and success without having to prove it to anyone. It's about honoring yourself and your values, not bending them to meet the expectations of others. When confidence and self-respect are in alignment, you become unstoppable. You walk through the world with a sense of purpose, knowing that you are worthy of the best life has to offer. This doesn't mean arrogance or superiority. It means knowing your value and living in a way that reflects that knowledge. You make choices based on your own needs, desires, and standards, not because you're seeking external approval. When you respect yourself, you show others how to respect you too. You create an environment where people see your worth without you having to prove it. And that's the power of true confidence and self-respect. So remember, the key to a powerful life lies not in chasing others or waiting for their approval, but in becoming someone who stands tall, someone who knows their worth and isn't afraid to let others feel the impact of their absence. Let them miss you and let them see the value of what they took for granted. Focus on your growth, keep moving forward, and embrace the power of confidence and self-respect. You don't need anyone's permission to be great. You simply need to trust in yourself and the journey you're on. Stay true to who you are and watch as the world starts to change around you, because when you do this, not only will you change your own life, you'll inspire others to do the same. The real power lies in your ability to recognize your value, stand in it, and watch everything transform.